You're listening to Pointing Pointers, the Point to Point podcast. Good evening. Welcome to Pointing Pointers. I'm Ben Atkins, joined by Sam Davies-Thomas as always, and hot from a treble down at Badbury Rings, we've got Harry Ryall with us. Harry, how are you getting on?
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good. Great to have you on. We are going to have a bit of a roundup from Badbury and then get into some more questions about your blossoming training career, etc. in a little bit. But Sam, you must have something to say from Badbury before we hand over to someone who's actually there.
Well, looking through the results, no offence, Harry, but you didn't have much to beat. There wasn't many there, was there?
No, not at all.
Looked like a bit of a farce-old place to be, but yeah, I think everyone's struggling at the minute with the ground, aren't they, in the rain? But no, it's nice that Harry managed to pick up the pieces. And yeah, as we spoke about just a moment ago, if Harry's runners weren't there, it would have been probably very quiet.
Yeah, so that's the obvious thing to say. You know, there's very few runners down there, and yeah, it's tricky at the best of times, ground-wise, isn't it? But yeah, not the start that the Southwest wanted. Harry, other than your own runners, putting you on the spot here, what would be the one thing that you took from the day?
It was just nice to be back pointing, to be fair, in general.
Diplomatic
answer. Pardon?
Diplomatic answer.
Yeah. It was just obviously a lot of hard work goes into like the build up and all that, and I didn't go to Dunsmore, so it was just nice to get back to it. And now I always find once that first meeting's out with the runners, but the first meeting's out of the way, sort of everything flies through now, whereas before the build up to everything drags. But there was a good turnout on the day, and the ground was quick, but me and Tom walked it before, and we just thought it was safe enough to go and run, because we do obviously furloughs a bit of a stable start, and we liked both maidens, so we thought we didn't want to risk them, but at the same time we thought it was safe enough.
As long as it's safe, they've done a good enough job. You've got to
yeah, they've done as good a job as they could have done, like with the watering. Like you say, like everywhere struggles, and Badbury's always one of the first meetings, and if you don't we had 160 mil of rain in October and 2 mil in the first 3 weeks of November. So it's just, it's just how it is, really.
Compared to last year as well. We were there last year, weren't we? And it was
Yeah, we ran furlough there last year, and we nearly didn't run in because it just hammered it down all day, and it was horrible ground. Well, not horrible, but just soft ground, hard work. But yeah, it's just how it goes, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And then typically today it's rained most of the day down here.
Yeah, I was watching a bit of racing from Exeter, thinking he could have done with that yesterday. Oh, we've lost you, Harry. There he is.
Sorry.
He's back. For those of you watching him on YouTube, that will not be the last time that happens.
Probably not. No.
Make a sweepstake in the comments of the next time Harry's phone falls over. So speaking of another furlough, then put him up on the. I hope that no one who listened to the Nick Luck Daily podcast actually travelled all the way down there to back him at 8-1 on against one horse. But we did put him up as our tip for the weekend on the Nick Luck Daily show, which is great that we're back on that, Sam. Hopefully you're going to do some of them as well. But we're
you say now. We mean you.
Well, yeah, your choice. Yeah,
now. You just like the sound of your own voice. That's the difference.
Correct. So we're back on that, which with thanks to the Thoroughbid. And speaking of which, we need to thank our sponsor for this podcast, the PPA. The PPORA. Hopefully Steph can edit that one. Probably won't now. Said that. The PPRA have very kindly supporting us again this year. So it's great to be back. And Sam, just one last thing for Badbury before we talk to Harry about his winners in general. But we had the first winner alert.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Marina Bealby, who's daughter of Ashley Bealby, who's brother of Chris Bealby, who used to train. Big hunting family in Leicestershire. Obviously, Precious Bounty was with Kelly Morgan last year. Has obviously gone on to be with Ash and Marina. And yeah, what a perfect schoolmaster he is. She set her stall out early and was 20 clear, and I don't think they ever got near him, to be honest. He's a proper good horse on top of the ground, and she'll have a lot of fun with him. And after success, I had a chat with Marina to find out more about her.
Hi, Marina.
Thanks for joining us on Pointing Pointers. Well done on Sunday at Badbury Rings on your first winner on Precious Bounty. You must be delighted, and all the family must be as well. Can you tell our listeners a bit more about yourself, about Precious Bounty and Sunday, and about your plans going forward with the horse, where we might likely to see him next?
Hi Sam, yes, thank you. We're all delighted. Bounty is trained at home on the farm by Dad, and Mum rides him whilst I'm away in London during the week. We bought Bounty from Ellie Corwood, and who is Kelly Morgan's stable jockey, and Kelly used to train him. And the Morgans are were a big part in giving me the racing bug and getting me going. So midweek I am down in London, and I work Monday to Thursday. So on a Friday and a Saturday, I try and ride out as much as I can, get as many lots in to just help with my fitness. I ride out for Nicky Henderson, as my boyfriend is based near Lambourne. And then also trying to go home and school when I can, or sometimes go to Newmarket to school Bounty. Plans for Bounty, I think, would probably be try and go somewhere where there's faster ground again. I think he likes that. So maybe Lark Hill or somewhere similar. And yeah, I think that's about it, really.
And then obviously Lilly Bradstock, fresh. We're actually recording this on Monday. She had another winner today. So yeah, and 2 winners in 2 days for Lilly. Southfield Lady, actually the fastest time of the day as well. 6 minutes and 6 seconds. So yeah, 2-runner race, but proved to be the fastest time of the day. And I had a chat with Lilly to hear what she had to say. Hi Lilly, thanks for joining us on Pointing Pointers. Well done on your couple of winners this week at Plumpton and Badbury Rings. Looking specifically at Badbury Rings for us, Southfield Lilly. She looked to do it really nicely. Can you tell our listeners a bit more about Sunday, about her, and about her plans for the season?
Hi Sam, thank you very much. It was brilliant to win on Lilly on Sunday. She's a real favourite of mine, and she did it very, very easily. She didn't jump with her usual normal zest, but I think that's because the ground was quite firm and she was just being a little bit cautious. She's been doing a lot of hacking and a bit of team chasing, a lot of jumping. She doesn't go on the gallops a lot because we just try and keep her as sweet as possible, because she can be a little bit contrary sometimes. But she's very happy and she did it very well in the end, and she hasn't had much of a race at all. She won't go anywhere on soft ground because she wants it pretty quick, and she needs to go left-handed. So we'll just have to see what the weather does and make a plan from there. But she may head back to Badbury Rings in February, and then we'll go from there. Thank you very much.
So, Harry, I'm doing my best. Me and Sam, as keen followers of the game, are trying to put up the odd tip here and there on this show because, frankly, tipping a winner that's any value whatsoever, pointing is an absolute nightmare, as you can testify to the odds given to your horses this weekend. We would like a horse to follow for the season from your yard, if possible, first off.
Yeah, no problem. Well, sort of made it no secret with anyone who asked me, sort of stable tour, well, people asking about horses. We liked Snapfish, bought him from Doncaster in May. And he, although he didn't beat much, but he did it nicely at the weekend, jumps travels. If I was going to pick something that, obviously without him, I said it last year as well, Posh Dude, the first produce of Posh Totty. He was second in a bumper last year, and he just beat Rob rode him at Axvale and came off, and then he bounced out and made all at Coffelston. He's strengthened up over the summer and he's just started to up his work a bit. He'll hopefully run this side of Christmas. Maybe one of the Lark Hills. We've been taking him away to Alan Walters and loose scoring him down there. Try a few different things with him and brush up his jumping, but he always works well at home. He's always been one I've liked. But no, he would be one to follow. And then it's 3-year-old half sister's just getting going as well. She scored outside for the first time last week. She's a Jacob. She's completely different type of horse, but she'd be another one to sort of look forward to. That there sort of be Posh Dude going through the ranks now would be one that can pick up a few races this year, I'd like to think.
Nice.
And with that, this season, are you still planning to be in like the section of 6 to 14? How many horses would you have in to run?
Around 14 and 15 if they all make the track.
So to keep below 14.
I could creep over it, could stay in the bracket. It just depends. You always have the odd one that's not quite ready, needs a bit more time. I've got 4 or 5 3-year-olds, so it just depends on the 3-year-olds if they run this year or you save them for early next year, really.
Perfect. And for people who don't know, I know we had you on the podcast last year. What can you just explain how you kind of got into training, where you started off and where you went?
So I went to racing school when I was 16. Ended up I did a year for Malcolm Jefferson in Malton, and then my brother Tom Ryall, he was working down at Harry Fry's, so I moved down here because they were looking for staff, and worked for Harry Fry for 6 seasons. And then did a summer at Charlie Hill's pupil assistant, and then I worked for Chris Barber for a year. Got into pointing that way, really. I never would have been too interested in pointing when I worked for Harry. It was only when I was working for Chris, going pointing every weekend, that I was enjoying it a bit more, and the opportunity came just to have a couple of my own horses, so I just thought I'd give it a go through lunchtimes with Rob, who rides them out on the track. So he's helped me since day one, really. And then ever since then we started with 4. Furlough was the first horse I bought, and last season we had 8, and now this year we've got 15.
Wow.
So yeah, touch wood, everything's going.
Are you looking to grow more?
Pardon?
You be looking to grow more, get bigger? Or?
Yeah, well, there's only 20 boxes in the barn at the minute. There is a barn next door, but Anthony Honeyball uses it, so as big as I can get is 20. But if there was room to go into that other barn and there was owners and horses there, then yeah, wouldn't say no to just expanding. Yeah.
So excited.
You always wanted
to a bit about your relationship with Rob David.
He's always sort of been quite a good family friend, really. When he worked for Jack, he was good friends with Tom in Tom's early days at Harry's, and then he went to Australia for a couple of years, so no one really heard from him. And he just rocked up one day and started working for Chris, and then he's just always been around working at Dave Pipes, Claire Hitch, and he was sort of at a bit of a loose end, and he didn't want to just be riding out for someone, so he was helping me through lunch times, and we mentioned getting his license out just as for a bit of fun, really. And then he rode Highway Hero and it won at Millbourne, and then I had a few more horses getting lined up for the following season, and I said, well, if you come and work for me, you can more or less just might as well ride them all. And then that's what happened last year, and he had a good year. And then through the summer, he's been getting a few rides for Daisy Hitchens and Claire Hitch on the rules, and he's had a couple of winners on the rules, and then obviously started the season this year with 3 winners. But he's always been sort of there, really. He's helped me from day one. He's a big part of it. I've got a lot to thank for him, really, to be honest.
So yeah, it's an interesting one where you get that kind of real strong connection with the trainer and rider, and it has got to help, hasn't it? Like
it does help. Like, he knows the horses inside out, and he knows me inside out, and like we don't really say much to each other on the day in the paddock because we've spoke to each other about the race from Monday at entries till Wednesday. We ride we live together. We ride 5 lots together. Like we're in each other's pockets all the time. It's
yeah.
We sort of know each other inside out, and there's not a lot of people I would probably be able to do that with, to be honest. Like we do have a good friendship, and we get on all right, to be fair.
Yeah.
Takes you up to the table when he gives one a bad ride.
Yeah, there's been a couple of occasions where he's gave one a bad ride. He's never actually held his hands up, but there's been a couple of occasions where I've had to go at him, but it doesn't happen often, to be honest.
That's always going to happen, though, isn't it?
So me and Sam haven't told anyone this yet, Harry, but I'm going to start training for you next season, and Sam said he's going to be my stable jockey.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. You haven't told me this because you know my reaction would be.
Well,
So
yeah, but
leave it like that.
I'm giving you a
But-
season because it's going to take at least that to get a stone off you. So,
Stone in 3.
yeah, we're gonna chop Sam in half and go Pointon next
Yeah.
season.
I was going to ride again, mate. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be one to ride for you anyway. So you're
Hey.
fine.
Hey Sam, why don't you train and I'll ride?
No, oh God, just let's move on, can we, please?
Yeah, it's not about me, Sam, is it? Why do you always make it about me? It's not about me. It's about Harry. Anyway, so yeah, no, that's great. That's great to hear. To be fair, something that Biddick said the other day piqued my interest. Like he said something about Fred Phillips and Stow having a relationship with some of the young horses that he's bringing on, and them just being settled because they've got one riding, they've got one consistent thing. And I guess it's the same. Like if Rob's riding a lot of them at home all the time, or seeing you ride them, like you could get, like I know loads about different horses in the hunting field because I've seen them twice a week. And I know without riding them, I know a fair bit about them. And it'd be the same. He'd be watching you thinking, well, that's half keen, And,
Well, Rob had questioned me on horses that I ride out just as much as I'd question him on horses that he rides out. And if he thinks I'm doing something wrong on something, he wouldn't be afraid to tell me to do something different, which is a good thing, I suppose. But like with the horse that won the 4 and 5 year old maiden, Rob more or less has done. He's broke it in and rode it every day since it was a 3-year-old. So I think that was his most sentimental winner of the weekend, to be honest, because it is a long journey with them, as you know, like from bringing them in from sales as 3-year-olds till days like yesterday when they're going, and yeah, it didn't beat one of Chris's, but it's still a long journey, and you have to go there and turn up and get there.
Yeah, and loads can go wrong in between, can't they?
Yeah, that's it, exactly. We fought quite a lot of it last year and took her to Garthorpe, and she just wasn't right on the day, and that was frustrating. Otherwise, we would have had it. You don't really want to have him for the summer and then run him again early. You want him, if you're running him, you want him to be right there, gone, really, because she is one to sort of move on.
And will she go to a sale now?
Well, that was the plan, but it's my brother and all his friends from work, so it's just sort of what they want to do now. There was talk last night after the point-to-point of trying to just go give her a bit of a break now and go for like the point-to-point bumpers at Exeter and Aintree, something like that, and just they do like the days out and bit of fun. So we'll just take it as it comes, I suppose.
Yeah, and talking about fun, do you have a little plug for yourself, like any syndicates in the yard and how people can get involved at all? Or
yeah, well, we've got the last maiden Snapfish. He's part of a H&R syndicate, which is just £200 a month to be involved, and just trying to get it together. So it's just, he looks to be quite a fun horse to go forward with. Just try and get people out, days out, pointing, and maybe try and aim at a chase somewhere with him if he's good enough. So yeah, he's shares available in him, and all contact details are on any social media.
perfect.
Where are you based? For anyone, if I was making a decision to join a syndicate, I'd be thinking
Ben, just be careful how you could have Ben come in knocking because he likes to have a lot of fingers in a
be
lot
careful
of
what you say here. Yeah, this is where Harry says, "Oh, we're actually in Azerbaijan, and we only come."
Yeah, and we're actually now Ben, you want to get involved? We're actually full, mate. So yeah, on your bike.
We're in Seabury, so we're out of Jack Barber's old yard.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So just over the hill from Josh and Kaylee.
Oh, right.
So like they're
perfect. See you next week.
Yeah. Josh and Kaylee are sort of about 5 or 10 minutes away. You've got we're at Jack Barber's. Ben Clark used to be just the other side of the valley in Seabury, but he's moved now, and obviously Chris used to be local enough. He's gone, but there's just me and Anthony now, because Harry Fry's old yard's still there, but it's no one's in. So
right. Apart from you, when you expand so quickly next year that you need to move yards and.
Yeah, well, I think they've just got planning on it, so don't think those stables will be there anymore.
Might not be able to compete with the rent demands if they just got planning.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have a bit of a section of the pod where we plugged someone that was doing something good or had something to tell us. We've got a couple of things in here, Sam, actually. One for someone else and one for ourselves, I believe. So did you want to start with Pointing West?
Yeah, Pointon West, I saw over the weekend, very active on Facebook with all the results live as they're coming in from Badbury Rings. And I imagine any West Country, Southwest, West Country, Devon and Cornwall meeting, they'll be running the flag for them. So yeah, Pointon West on Facebook, very strong. Lots of pictures on there of the weekend as well. And yeah, as I say, live results, which is quite important for everyone. And fair play to them. They're really helping everyone out.
Yeah, fantastic. And the other one that we're just going to slot in here is that the Jumping for Fun Hunter Chase series that we bigged up quite a lot last year, Sam, is going to come in house, so to speak. As you know, we've kicked on with the forum, and we're going to be sponsoring with people, the good folk of the forum, who've already put up some money in. For anyone else who wants to make a donation via the forum, we're going to be basically sponsoring a load more hunter chases around the country, which is really exciting, including the restricted final at Stratford at the end of the season. So they'll now be the Pointing Pointers Hunter Chase series, and exciting times. Are you going to go to everyone, Sam?
I'll be there, every single one, mate, just for you. Yeah.
Good. Max bet on every 2-1. Hannah Roach, good thing.
Yeah, load up.
1-2, I mean. 1-2.
2-1 be nice.
Speaking of Hannah Roach, we want to extend our best wishes. A nasty fall on the gallops that's been well covered on socials, etc. But yeah, just from us, wish her all the best in a speedy recovery. So the thing with this game, Sam, isn't it? You can have a 4-timer one day and be in hospital the next. It's a great level of this sport.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, nothing nice about that at all. So yeah, hopefully she's on the mend, nothing too serious, and then we see her. Well, we hopefully see her horses back out again soon.
Absolutely. Great Trethew this weekend. Have you got any runners, Harry?
I have put another furlough in the open just to see what it was like, but I'm not sure if we'll take him down or not. It's just we didn't really have much of a race on Sunday, and if he's all right and sound and we're happy with him, then he will go down there. I had a quick flick glance through the entries. I see my Drogo's in there as well, and there's a few quite nice. So one for Rosie, and they've got quite a good card on down there. I think they've split the maiden already, and they've got about 10 entered in the bumper there as well. So that's good. But no, just one entry.
Yeah, I thought
sorry, Harry. What? Sorry, Sam. I should say. You go.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, the entries I thought looked quite strong. I've never been to Great Trethew. What's it like as a track? How have you been there before?
Been once when I worked for Chris. Undulating. The home straight sort of dips down, quite down steep, and then goes up and then swings back round, and then the back straight's more or less the same. It's unique.
Yeah, there's a bit of rain forecast in there, so
Saturday,
you might get the lights of Drogo turning up. I see Angel's Breast in there as well. He was a good horse under rules.
One for Roses in again.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, splitting the maiden with only 10 in each. Well, there must be a small safety factor, I'd assume, but I always find that a bit odd. But another race is good, I suppose, gives everyone a chance.
Else, Sammy boy?
No, that's it really. Just in there, yeah. I thought Angel's Best would be interesting, and yeah, my Drogo. Obviously, they've entered him again, and Tom Malone's got his horses in there again, which hasn't run yet. So we'll see if he makes an appearance.
Yeah, he's just toying with everyone with that one, isn't he? He just keeps entering it up, and not taking it, playing mind games. That Malone fella. I hope he listens. Tom, if you listen, drop us a message. Be nice to know if you did.
I doubt he does, mate. Let's be honest. Too busy losing weight for that charity race, isn't he?
Yeah, that doesn't affect your ears, Sam. You can lose weight and listen to stuff at the same time.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to listen to you.
I know what you're saying. Sales horses. In fact, I want to ask Harry something first before we move on to the sales thing, Sam, because you actually got something right last week. You got nothing right in the betting, but you got something right in the sales ring. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Harry, these bumpers, point-to-point bumpers, you say there's 9 or 10 entered. Good thing or bad thing for pointing?
Good, I think. I'd say. I had a horse couple of last year that the sort of penny wasn't really dropping with it jumping wise, and it was quick enough to win a bumper. You never really see heaps entered. Well, to be fair, like the ones at Lark Hill normally get split, and the Millbourne ones being split in the path, they seem to get the runners. So I suppose if you're getting the runners, it's a good thing, isn't it? If there were no runners in them, then it's not a good thing.
I suppose so. You can look at it from two ways, and like people be banging their head on the wall with me banging on about the sales stuff. But if you look at it just from a purist point of view of just pointing, there's probably people in that camp that would say they should be jumping obstacles.
Yeah.
And then from a sales point of view, like you've just kind of like walked into what I was thinking in my head, which is basically if you've got one that can't jump very well, let's run it in a bumper. Which then you think, well, there's no wonder they don't make as much when you don't try and sell them, because everyone's assumption is that they can't really jump a fence, or they don't have the scope for it, or they're just a bit dodgy.
Yeah. Like the two we ran one in that there's just sort of, like I say, Penny wasn't drop jumping, and then we ran Posh in one, and that was like there was no real pressure on in terms of being a sales horse, so you can just like you are on the rules, running it in bumper, and then if you're on the rules, you bumper and you gradually go on through novice hurdles. We wanted to go bumper and then maiden, and then put him away restricted this season. So it all depends on type of horse, I suppose, and what you want to do.
Yeah.
And
you're always just trying to make the horse the best it can be. And if the horse is not ready to go around in a 3 mile point to point and not mentally ready, you're going to put that horse backwards.
Yeah. And then the horse we had that won on Sunday, she ran in the bumper at Garthorpe, and she jumped well, but just because of the spring we had was so wet, we sort of didn't have enough schooling into her outside on grass, so we just thought we'd try and get away with it in a bumper. Didn't work.
And like, totally fair enough. It's mad, isn't it? And then like something I'm pretty passionate about is that like we have to get these schooling races going in the UK, and that is just a good example of why you have to run her in a point to point, basically, just to get the experience that you want. If for one that isn't a sales horse, just to get if you can get them going forward and having been in and amongst horses, and like for the penny to drop on the flat sort of thing, you'd like to think they'd be more forward when you start throwing them at big fences. But it's we have to get this schooling trials thing off the ground in the UK. I'm convinced of it.
No, we don't. Obviously, Dunsmore had a good turnout on Monday. We took a couple down there, just more for Will, who had his first ride on Sunday. We took him down, so he had a school round there. But if we wanted to go anywhere that wasn't obviously night, we could do it, trying their best and putting on. You can book there, but our next place to go, where you can actually go and have a school round a point course, is Chipley Park in January, and that's 2 months' time. And now, you want to try and get the 3-year-olds done and the best you can, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get the experience into them. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll bring things to a close in a minute, Sam. But you were at Cheltenham at the weekend and stuck around for the sales. I heard you were treated very well, in fact, by Shirley off of Tats, sorted out at the table and some pork pies. What more does old man want?
I know, yeah. I think she might have thought I was going to buy something, but no chance.
Mate, she knows you better than that.
No, it's nice cheese and biscuits. It's lovely, some wine to finish off the day. No, it was good. So I went ahead, looked after very well, and watched the G&T horse go through the ring, and as I thought, probably not really the result they probably wanted, really 50,000. But as I said, it ran last year, just affects the price, and it's just hard to get the money back, isn't it? It was an expensive store. It was £70,000 store, so I'm sure they would have been hoping to get a bit more.
Incorrect. Than that. 63 from memory, if memory serves. Could be wrong, Sam. Could be wrong.
Close enough. Why did you buy it? Did you own a bit? Did you? I hope you did.
Just a leg, mate. Just a leg. No, I didn't. I had nothing to do with it.
But it's a struggle, isn't it, when you see horses finishing in second in Irish points, going and making 300 plus. But they're more expensive stores, so that's where that stems from. So
it's scary for anyone producing them. Like, as in, look, I mean, who knows whether it would have beaten Kilfill and Woods? Go on the Kilfill, but they split that maiden. And obviously, then everyone's watching again. Well, it only beat 4 horses. We've got no idea what it is. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, it's literally just down to who turns up and declares on the day. I just it's scary, isn't it?
It's the same in Ireland, though. You'd be running in Ireland and it'd still be the same.
It's just scary being part of an ecosystem where there's so much money changing hands, where if one less person had declared on the day, it could have been 8 horses and made 100 grand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not me that has to worry about that. It's you, Harry. So
there's value to be had, isn't there? So these horses, the Pointon graduates, we saw third Tom Lucky come back out yesterday, or the day before, was it? Sunday.
Yeah, beaten again.
It was an expensive purchase, so
beaten again.
Yeah,
never wins that horse. Trying to get Sam to nibble, but didn't work. Anyway, it's probably Charlie that's going to send me a rocket for that one. Anyway, he loves it. So I think that just about draws things to a close. We're trying to keep these episodes semi-snappy. Anyone got any other business?
No, I'm good.
Thanks a lot for coming on, Harry. We'll have you back on again this season, I'm sure. So best of luck with the rest of it.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
You're listening to Pointing Pointers, the Point to Point podcast.